in just a few hours, the House could vote on a bill that could lead to a nationwide ban of TikTok.
One of the world's top music labels is taking its artists off TikTok after failing to reach a contract agreement.
Our grandparents are gonna take this app away.
If you ban TikTok, then you put at risk putting a cap on the ambitions of a whole generation of wealth creators.
In the blink of an eye, someone can just pull the cord and remove your entire catalog from the biggest social media and music discovery app in the world.
It doesn't matter if TikTok goes down. It doesn't matter if UMG, they take off everything, figure something else out. People not gonna stop listening to music. We are producers. We don't just make TikTok songs, we make hit records.
Hey everyone, my name is Alana, and welcome back to yet another episode of Acknowledged, a podcast where we talk to the hidden heroes behind our favorite pop culture moments in history. If you missed last week's episode where we sat down with Ink, aka the writer and producer behind Beyonce's 16 Carriages from her new album, which dropped today, Cowboy Carter, please pause this video and click the link below. You're not gonna wanna miss it. She gives so much tea. For this week's episode, we're taking a look at the modern epicenter of trending topics. For better or worse, that would be TikTok. And TikTok would be nothing without its sounds. So today, we're talking to Steve Terrell and Carl Cassidy-Dixon of House of Evo. And if you've never heard of them, I'm sure you heard some of their trending sounds.
And my man, thank you to my man. I'm in love, I'm obsessed. And I don't even feel guilty about it.
Rice and peas. Rice and peas.
That includes Margarita, Baddie Friend, and my favorite,
I am on to see my husband.
If you know, you know. We're gonna take a look at how they make the TikTok sounds we can't stop using, labels pulling out their entire catalogs from the platform, the US's potential TikTok ban, and the one celebrity that might not have appreciated one of their mixes. If you're down to hear from House of Evo, and if you're down to hear from some of the other hidden heroes we plan on giving our flowers to, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. All right, there's a lot to get into, so let's get into it. Okay. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Before we get started, do you mind doing a quick introduction of yourselves?
Yes. I'm Carl Dixon, aka Casa D, one half of House of Evo.
I'm Steve Terrell, also known as Official Steve Terrell, and I'm the other half of House of Evo.
Amazing. So before we get into everything, for those who don't know what House of Evo is, can you guys explain a little bit about what you guys do?
For sure. Well, our company is a full service production company. We produce music, we produce films, television, podcasts, short form content, anything in the multimedia space. We both have a background in film and theater and things of that nature, and obviously music.
I guess I want to start at the top. I love starting at the top to kind of get your journeys. How did you guys first rise up individually, and then how did you guys come together to form House of Evo?
Oh man, that's a great question. I'll start that up. Then we met in the 5th grade. We've been best friends ever since. I ended up going to college. I went to CAU, Clark Atlanta University. Steve ended up going to the military, to the Army. And somewhere down the line, we linked back up. We always been in contact, and been hanging out throughout the years, especially when he got back. I'll let him tell more of most of his story, but we've always, from kids, wanted to do music, and we did do music. I started making beats because Steve gave me a demo version of FL Studio on the CD, and he was the rapper, so that's how it started. And Steve, you want to tell your part?
Yeah, we met in elementary school, transfer schools, moved to a different neighborhood. Shout out to Brightwood. We went to school for 1 year there, and then we got to middle school. When we got to middle school, we were a little bit older. We would meet in the lunchroom, and I would rap, we would freestyle, we would battle, and Carl make the beats on the table. Then it led to us doing some shows. There's some talent shows, the Lincoln Theater, the Reeves Center. I mean, we was just having fun with it. But then, like I said, we both hit 18, and I joined the military. He went to college, and for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 years, we were kind of just in our own world doing what we do. But we always had conversations about, bro, we got to get back to it. We got to get back to the music. We miss
Absolutely.
it, And the plan was always to do something in music. And I don't think we had a very specific plan in the beginning, because Carl said, I was going to be a rapper. And then you realize very quickly, I was like, maybe that's not the route I want to go. But how can we still do that? And producing music was the way to stay in the world, still be creative, and still have an impact.
And we got our first placement I want to say it was 2013 or 2014. We did a remix for Somo, a
Mhm.
song called Ride. And yeah, that was through Republic. Since then, we've been doing remixes. We've been taking viral clips and remixing those, and some of them became original compositions. But yeah.
And I want to talk about the viral clips because, first of all, shout outs to y'all for helping keep TikTok alive. Trying times
Yeah.
where everything is sort of up in the air, especially in the United States. For those who are not in the United States and are watching and or listening right now, the government is in the process of possibly putting forward new legislation that would result in a direct ban of TikTok. What kind of pushed you to the social media lane? Like, what was the first platform? Was it TikTok, or were you guys kind of popping off on different platforms before that?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, I even for my first placement, I did a song on Chief Keef's first album called "Understand Me" featuring Young Jeezy, and the way I landed that one was Chief Keef was searched. He was on Twitter. He said, "I need beats." He sent this email, and I sent about 3 or 4 beats, and that landed. So we've always used social media. One of the things that I did early on was join Vine back in the Vine days.
Yes, Vine.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. I had like one of the first like viral songs on Vine called Butt Naked Nasty or Nah. It was a silly song with Wolf Tyler and Chris J. And so since then we've been doing it. It's me and Steve's first viral song together. What was that? 2017 Evacuation.
Yeah, we heard about all the evacuation going on, evacuation going on, evacuation going on, evacuation going on.
2017
Remix.
Evacuation. Yep.
Yeah, this guy Dunk Planet mispronounced the word evacuation down in Florida, and he said evacuation, and we just turned it into a song, and it reached all over. I mean, the radio played it, Hot 97 played it.
Yeah,
It was a crazy time.
How do you identify a sound and say, like, I'm gonna remix that? Like, that's about to go viral. Like, what kind of goes through your brains when you're seeing things happening online, and how do you join that conversation?
I think a part of what we've recognized is that energy is not created nor destroyed. So if something already has momentum and people are already fascinated with it, they're already, intrigued, or it captures their attention. Okay, how can we take it to the next level?
Right.
How can we make them dance to this? Whether it's something that's emotional, whether it's something that's dark. I think we could add, our flavor, our flair to it, evolve it, and now people are like, wow, that sounds good. Actually, let's play that back. That sounds like a real song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for us, it's just recognizing it. People spend a lot of time on their phones, and if we can keep your attention, that's what we want to do.
And I would say that for us, it has to have melody and rhythm. And typically, like the human speech and the talk patterns, it's typically it has we talk in different keys, but usually it's some type of melodic phrase, and it that's catchy to the ear, especially when someone has emotion or they're yelling or something like that. It'll be easy to remix. And so we always just look for those sound bites that are on the cusp of going viral or has gone a little bit viral, and then we'll know, okay, yeah, this is bubbling. One, does it make sense in the context? Is it going to make someone cry, laugh, or just, hate it? Sometimes a lot of people, that's the beauty in it.
Too.
Yeah. So, but for us, we just want to create, and the best thing for me personally is when people say, "Oh man, you just made my day a little bit better," and that's to me that's the cherry on top when it comes to it, because as professional musicians, it's tough in the music business to land certain things. So for this, it's like we kind of get to skip the typical process of sending beats to A&Rs, which we do as well. We still send beats to A&Rs and go to studio sessions, but with this, we kind of control the narrative a little bit, and we can also be artists on the songs with like One Margarita and recently Batty Friend. We can be artists on the songs, and we could talk to the labels, and we could say, hey, let's promote it like this, and let's put it out like that, and this artist can be, the remix can have this artist on it, so it gives us a little bit more leverage.
Batty Friend is a great segue for what I wanted to talk about, because it's charting on Billboard.
Bitch, with a baddie friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Kevo Hefe, man.
yeah. First of all, we want to say the song is Kevo Hefe featuring House of Evo. We produced it. He wrote the song. He performed the song, and he's been a great partner thus far in this process. We've had great partners with our songs, but with this, first of all, he's from back home. We're from DC. He's from PG County, Maryland.
Oh, PG. I'm right outside of PG right now.
Okay, where are you?
Okay. Well, okay, I lied. I'm not outside of PG. I frequent
She
Here
Laurel.
she goes.
I frequent Laurel.
Okay.
Out there. So I'm back and forth there. I'm on the Eastern Shore. I'm in the middle of nowhere currently.
Oh
right
wow. Yeah, you in the boot. I thought
I'm into the booties a little bit. A little bit.
Eastern Shore. That's Steve done had a few trips out the Eastern Shore.
I've been out there a couple times.
Yeah. But Kevo, he's from back home, so that was a great thing with this song, Baddie Friend, is that it's home team. It's doing well. It's on the TikTok Billboard Top 50 chart.
Top 50.
Top 50. We're coming for top 10. I think we're 16 right now. We're coming for top 10, hopefully. We charted with the One Margarita as well.
Give me one margarita, I'ma open my leg.
We went, I think iTunes. Yeah, that was a shout out to our homegirl, that chick Angel.
That chick Angel.
Yeah, man. So that's the ultimate goal is because the hardest part about it is monetizing these songs. That's like the biggest hurdle, and that's why we have people like Rico and our attorneys, and we've been able to, link up with a good labels, Giant Music, Columbia Music Records, label so far, and they've been great partners, but it's very hard to monetize these viral sounds, especially when people take these viral sounds from TikTok and they bootleg them and they loop them and they put them up on Spotify. That happens to us all the time, and so that's the real challenge in trying to just make money and make sure that everybody's getting their fair credit.
Yeah. And we run into the issue of sometimes even we'll have a viral song that's on TikTok going crazy, but we can't get the labels or certain teams to clear it. And we live in a space where everybody has like social media ADHD. So once you miss a moment, it could be gone. You know what I'm saying? So we try to get in as quickly as possible, capitalize on the momentum and the energy, put out a dope record, put some money in the labels' pockets. We make some money on that. But the social media to streaming platform that we're kind of, experimenting with is very volatile. It's not a proven system, but we've gotten really good at zeroing in on what our intentions are with social media and streaming, because we are producers. We don't just make TikTok songs, we make hit records. And I think sometimes people can confuse the two, like, oh, they're just social media. No, we really do this. We can put a song together from scratch. We can compose it. We can find the talent and put everything together so that we can deliver it. And sometimes they miss that aspect just looking at the TikToks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think there is also this misconception, sort of like what you were just saying, that TikTok music isn't music. And there's a huge debate that's happening, especially within the hip hop community, where you have artists, even outside of the hip hop community. Kanye West just reshared an artist on his Instagram that kind of went into the struggles of, how TikTok influences music and how streaming platforms only give a fraction of a cent per stream. So you have a song that has like 1 million hits and you're only pocketing maybe 3K. And that's that's before, managers get involved. That's before A&R, like all of the people that you have to pay. And then you end up with non-sustainable income with hit tracks. When you are entering this industry, where does the virability come in and where does the music come in, if that makes sense? Like, where is it like, oh, I know this song will hit, and I know some people will like it because I'm putting these keywords or this beat or this drop that will get people to want to share it, versus like, oh, I'm making this song because this is a good song. This is a well-composed song. I like the artists that are involved. Like, this is an actual track that I can see on the billboards, that I can hear in my radio in my car. Like, where does the balance lie?
That's a great question, and we also struggle with that sometimes because I think all creatives, it's hard to find that balance. And you've seen like people like Halsey and all them complain about the record label saying, "Hey, I got to get on TikTok and do this," which I get it, I understand it, but you have two options. You either can make something that people want to consume and that's good to you, or you don't. And for me, it's really simple. I want to make stuff that people consume. So I don't want it could be the best composition ever, but if people don't hear it, then to me it's a waste. So for me, I want the success, and I think everything I do is going to be at least good. I think me and Steve know that everything that we do is going to be at least good. So we have that already. It's just a matter of taste. Some things may not be the like as highbrow as other stuff. Some stuff, in other areas could be trash. I mean, everybody didn't like Soulja Boy when it came out, but now it's revered. Like, oh yeah, he was on to something. So
The first to do it, like he said.
the first had everything to do it.
First to do it.
Yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
did you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I think a part of this is we win in this knowing that this is a business and people got to make money. The labels got to make money. Artists got to make money. Our team got to make money. Certain products you create will do better than others. You understand what I'm saying? Our music is our product. So we have to keep creating a product that people either want to buy or use. You know what I'm saying? And that's simply what it is. We'll do a song and we'll put the song out and it probably doesn't do so great. We know that one, the people probably don't even know the product exists. They can't find it, or it's just not a good product. Okay, it's cool. Let's create another one. And we have these conversations all the time where it's like, okay, boom, it's a numbers game. If you're going through a deck of cards, how many cards do you have to go through to get an ace? And for us, it's the same thing. We're going to continue doing it. Our numbers don't lie. Our two songs from last year and this year, they both charted. And we want people to recognize that, understand the value. We're not just producers. We're not just TikTokers. We're not just influencers. We are people that understand this business. And we're creating products that are selling and doing the numbers. So we want people to definitely understand that it's more than just sitting on your computer, on your FL, on your Logic, and just making a beat. That's not going to get you there. It's putting it out. It's believing in yourself. It's taking the chances. It's taking the risks. It's understanding that if TikTok does go down, which is unfortunate for so many creators who built their brands, there's going to be another one. And guess what? House of Evo going to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So that's really just it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's the energy that we all need to just bring in. Like when things
Absolutely.
don't happen, that doesn't mean it's just not happening there. I love what you said at the beginning of the interview. You said that energy doesn't die. Like that momentum will continue on another platform. And y'all, again, have made hits. And I know we've been like kind of glancing over that and glazing over that. And I really want to dig deep into each hit. I gotta start with it. Sorry. One Margarita. I gotta start with how from like start to finish, this became the song that we all know and love that I still quote when I'm a couple margaritas in.
Oh man, it was late one night on Instagram. I came across the clip of that chick Angel on the podcast with Kev on stage, and she was referencing the LSU lady, and she was like, this would be a dope song.
Buy her one margarita, she will spread her legs.
When I heard it, I said, this sounds like a rap song. Give me a beat, Kev. This sounds like a rap song. Here we go. Hey. Give me one margarita, I'ma open my legs.
And she just did like a little acapella thing. I'm like, okay, this is like, she just laid it out for us. She gave us I heard the hook. I was like, okay, we got the hook. That's it. That's all we need.
Yeah.
I called Steve. I said, yo, this is the next one. So that night we put all the sounds together. Steve was like, okay, you know what? I think the LSU lady, let's keep it in the like New Orleans bounce. It's not quite bounce. No bounce. It's a little bouncy. It's a little bouncy. It's got the elements. Yeah, it got the elements. And And so we've been back, we bounced back and forth. Steve is in LA, I'm in Vegas. So what we do typically is we'll send sounds, we'll send loops within the same tempo and key, and we knocked it out. I want to say by that next morning.
Yep.
Simultaneously, we posted the I think the longer clip, and then we also reached out to Angel because we knew automatically it was going to do something. We reached out to Angel. I hit her on, I think, TikTok with a message like, "Hey, Angel, look, this is probably going to take off. Your sound is already going viral. People are already using this sound within the first few hours. What do you think about making a full song? We'll do it, we'll do it 50-50. It's us and you." And she hit us later on in that day, and she said, "Hey, I'm sorry for hitting you up so late," which we're like, that's not late at all. You're on point. She's like, "I already wrote the verses.
Yep.
I sat with it for a while." She's like, "Let's do it." I think we were up on Spotify, iTunes. Steve, correct me. How soon did we get it up on?
It was
from the
about
day we posted.
3 days later.
4 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is why the song has been so successful. I think it's I think 18 million streams on Spotify now, which is good to us. We want like 100,000 million, a billion,
100 million,
yeah. But that whole journey of that was crazy, and I think the success of it was because we were moving very fast. I mean, I think we did 1 million
Extremely
streams.
expedited.
We did 1 million streams in 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that led to us doing a partnership with Giant Music, which is owned by Irvin Azoff, a legendary music business executive, and yeah, we was able to shoot a music video with Cindy Crawford. So I mean,
I love the music video so
oh man,
Super dope.
yeah.
Saucy Santana added his energy to the joint.
We did a few remixes. Yeah, we did that. That was the Saucy remix with Saucy Santana. I think shout out to the guys over at Stream Cut, Jason Wyatt and Phil. Yeah, Steve, am I missing anything with One Margarita?
No, that was really it. We knew that we needed to get this song out as quickly as possible so that while they're finding it on TikTok, they Shazam it. Again, the social media, the streaming platform. And because we maintained the control, we had full control over what the record did, we were able to move at that rate. Now, opposed to other songs, that's why they may not get the same motion or traction because a week go past, 2 weeks go past of, negotiations and this, that, and the third. But One Margarita, the original record, we knew it. We saw the momentum. We got it out.
Yeah.
And from there, it literally just had a life of its own. I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, I can't tell you how many celebrities were using it. Lizzo, shout out to Lizzo. Shout out to everybody who showed love with the record. You know what I'm saying? And then we were able to do the remixes. The Saucy remix. We did the Ladies remix with Sexy Red, Flo Milli, Fendi the Rapper.
Yeah.
And then we did another one with Snow the Product, which was super dope. It was a
whirlwind.
And it was so fast. It was every single day. Meeting with labels that were interested in saying, you know what, we want the record here. We can do this, that, and the third.
Met with everybody.
We all decided, we met with everybody. Yeah. And collectively, we decided Giant was the right label to partner with. And, they made some great things happen for the record. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's about identifying a moment and acting quickly.
Immediately.
Right. Timing is so important.
A day will and we actually learned with One Margarita, there was people who were involved where a day made a difference to where they decided, okay, I may not be interested, which it happens. So I just want the creatives to understand, like, I don't want you to rush your art, but understand that if you are in the business, your art is a business. So you have to just there's our compromises you're gonna have to take and make. So I don't want people to be too precious with their stuff, because if you did it once, you can do it again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just do it and get it out. Definitely.
That's it.
Just do it. Do it.
More recently, I want to talk about Batty, Batty Friend. Like, what was, the moment where you heard it and was like, this has it? And if you don't mind me asking, what is it? Like, if you could hear something, like, what makes you say, like, this is it, or this is about to go viral, or this is
the moment?
I'm gonna take that really. I'm gonna take it real quick. I think the real key is in everything music. My philosophy is, I think from like the Swedish producers, melody is king. And with Kevo's voice, his natural voice, people from back home, we tend to talk up and down, and we talk melodic already,
Real
but
animated.
yeah, and he was already doing a lot of that. Ain't nothing like a
bitch with a baddie friend.
and it's going up and down. It's doing different. It's not monotone. You know what I mean? And one thing is, if you hear something one time and it's stuck in your head, it's something there to it. One of my favorite A&Rs, Ben Madahi, he said, no matter what you do, make sure what you do is catchy. And people sometimes overlook that when they make music. You want people to remember your stuff after at least one listen. And so it with Kevo, with that clip he did, it was catchy, and it was melodic, and that's really it. And it's also attitude, attitude and emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely used his voice as an instrument, and it kind of made it, the process was a little bit it was easier to hear, especially with people from back home. We understand the language, we understand some of the inflections, you know what I'm saying? And we was like, you know what? I think that could work.
Yeah.
And you know, it wasn't right away. We was like, okay, let's listen to it some more. We had to really look, because you listen to the record has somewhat of a retro feel, has somewhat of a West Coast, we was like, let's try it. We don't, you know what I'm saying? But people love it. People love it because it's on the charts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was the another key too, is that people are like, have I heard this before? And it's like we play to the nostalgia of the DJ Mustard era, where everything was a little bit light. Because right now a lot of stuff is dark, which is no shot at them, because we make a lot of dark music too. But it's coming up on springtime, summertime. We want people to have fun, So hopefully this could be a record where it's fun and light. And we ended up partnering with records / Columbia Records through Sony on this song. And so we were excited. We're hoping that this song continues to grow for sure.
It's growing. It's charting. Like, this is like, it's the concept of saying something to camera and like half joking, but like delivering to camera, that hitting, I think it had over like 2 million likes within the first couple of days it was posted.
Yeah.
And then that turns into a track that is now on Billboard. It's just like a testament of how crazy the internet works.
Oh man.
And I feel like you guys have also made edits that people didn't realize weren't songs. People thought the Beyonce, I am gone.
Oh man.
My husband.
Look, we were praying every single day, like Beyonce, please make this
cut
a song.
the record.
Please,
Hey, she posted it. She used it on her
She used it on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She used the song on her Instagram.
Her team.
Hey,
But
if
that was a
it's on the
fun one too.
page, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that again, that's one of the obstacles that we have to constantly overcome. Okay,
Yeah.
people love it, they want it, they're asking, "Where's the song? Where can I find it?" And we just can't get it cleared, or we can't work out some of the logistics behind it. But I think we still have had some of the most powerful moments. The Lotto joint we did. She
Man,
actually
thank you to my
performed
man.
Did at her concert, yeah.
She performed it, but it's not a record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, those are the days where it's like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
let's pick up our energy, let's do it again.
Mhm.
Because you have to make it so that they can't remove you from the table. You understand what I'm saying? And for us, when you run into that, it's like, okay, we're not working hard enough. Then let's do it again, so that they have to clear the record.
Yeah.
And now they saying it, 2 records back to back, both records hit Billboard. Come on now, like we're doing something right. And this industry, there's no guarantee with anything.
Right.
So creatives, the only thing that's guaranteed is that you can wake up, you can imagine something, you can put the work in and do it. That you can guarantee that.
Right.
And if you keep doing that, and if you don't stop creating, all it takes is one project. It takes one project to change everything. So you could do it for $0, right? What we say, Carl? You could.
Hey man, you could do it for look, we've done a lot of projects for $0. And there's nothing wrong with that. But look, I got a family, Steve got a family. You want to make sure that you're living your best life as possible as a creative. And the worst thing you can do as a creative is be a starving artist. I've done that for some time in my time. I'm knocking on 34 years old, and we're in a good space because we be saying, oh, we old, but we not old, but we've learned a lot of lessons, and I think that's why we are where we are in a sense. But we have so much growing to do. We learn every day. We learn something new every day because it's always a new challenge. It's every time we try to do a song or release a song, there's always going to be a new challenge when you're dealing with multiple personalities. And I think the biggest thing is we always have to check our ego. And that's what helps because we consider ourselves brothers and know each other from kids from the same neighborhood. We could check each other easily.
Yeah. Was there ever a track that you wish was cleared and it didn't end up getting cleared?
Scope the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Scope the scenery.
Yeah.
Man. Look, we worked this record for over a month, for 4 weeks straight, every day meetings, going back and forth.
Well, let's get the context of Scope the Scenery real quick. We remixed this popular Philadelphia social media influencer Meatball. And shout out to Jen Carter from Group 41. She reached out very early on. She saw the clip on TikTok, like yo, send me the full beat. She cut a full song to it. And the song didn't fit in her release schedule over at Republic Records. So she gave us the green light, to, look, yeah, if y'all can release it, y'all do it, and we tried, and it just we didn't realize that when you have a big artist on the song, the loops and holes that you got to do to clear it, it's a lot.
Yeah.
By the time it was like to a place where something could have happened, so much time had went by that it wouldn't have been a smart investment, because again, there's very few people that can just throw a record out there and announce it on their IG page and say, go stream it, and it do 5 million streams. It doesn't work like that.
And the Beyonce one.
Oh my God.
But
hey, she still might. We still might be able to get that.
Nah, she's doing a country album, so it ain't happening no time
soon. Hey, it's not a country album. It's a Beyonce album.
That's true.
That's
true.
But
yeah, like just being creatives and being able to be in this space, it's amazing because people before us like Master P, they had to sell records out of their trunk, which is how we back in the day. That's what that's how you used to get it. So for us, this is kind of light work. We are really all spoiled, and I just want the creatives to understand, like you have everything at your fingertips. Whatever you need to do, if you in a town where you think I ain't got no motion, you have the internet. Utilize the internet to your best abilities. Don't if it's messing with your mental health, then of course take care of your mental, but just try. And one thing we got into a habit of is putting things out without worrying about the result of it. Like just putting, and it helps when you start to have some wins, then you can say, okay, well, that didn't move, but just throw stuff out, throw 100 things out back to back to back to back. And one of those things will pop, will take off.
Yeah.
But also, a lot, I'm talking to myself right now too. You don't have to have the best equipment to do anything. You understand what I'm saying? Content can be created every day, everywhere, anywhere with just your phone, or just your laptop. Don't overthink it and just focus on creating with what you have.
Yeah.
And then you worry about how do you get it in front of as many people as quickly as possible. Right now, our music has been consumed in almost every single country in the world, maybe 2, I think the last time I checked. And for us, that's the goal. The goal is to, be able to support our families, make a living, enjoy life, but also to inspire others. You hear our music, you laughing, you dancing, you taking margaritas, you with your baddie friends, you know what I'm saying? You with your husband, your man, whatever. That's what we love to do it for. When we can read through those comments and they're like, damn, this is fire. That's a blessing. That's a blessing for us to be able to make a product that people really love and enjoy, So.
Was anyone ever mad at a remix that you've done? Like,
Oh, that's a great. Oh, yeah. We don't know if they were mad, but we did a Kevin Hart remix when he cheated on his wife back in like 2018, and we were really green. We was like, oh yeah, he's gonna love it. He's gonna. And so we sent it to his record label. We sent it to I think Motown at the time. We sent the
Chocolate
emails.
drop.
Yeah, we was like, yo, we did this remix. It's viral. It's on World Star. Kevin Hart was signed to Motown at the time, and we were like, yeah, of course they're gonna get behind it, but we didn't receive an email back. And I think looking back on it, we're like, yeah, he wasn't gonna get behind.
Not getting behind that.
Yeah, it wasn't
that
gonna
one
happen.
for sure.
Yeah, nah.
But
But no, we've dropped some stuff to where the audience be like, yeah, that one ain't it. And it's a sobering experience, of course, with any creative. It hurts at first, but then you take whatever constructive out of it and you can adjust. Sometimes some things ain't for certain eras, so it could be that, but usually the crowd, it's usually the crowd, because everything you do ain't gonna be out of this world,
right, I will say that there's a completely different era as someone in their decade after 20s myself. The sensitivity online is a lot different, I think, than when we were growing up.
Yeah,
sure.
So do you take that into account? I know that TikTok is which is great now. It's there's communities, there's support, there's like people who are supportive of each other, different walks of life. But at the same time, like growing up in Y2K, where you could say a lot more and get away with it than you can now.
Yeah.
Do you take that into account when you're thinking about putting your stuff on a platform like TikTok that has a large amount of Gen Z and now Generation Alpha on the platform?
Generation Alpha.
Oh man, yeah, I think these kids they're so in tune, which I'm not sure if I like, but they're like so in tune with like, oh yeah, she charts on the chart, like they're really into their artists being on the charts, and I think sometimes it may take away from just the listening experience, because when we were kids, we just listened to stuff, and like you would think that some songs were bigger than what it was, because sometimes I'll look up like, oh, this song when I was a kid, and it's like, oh, it only went to number 90 on the Hot 100 chart, and it's like, oh, it wasn't that as big as I thought it was, So it's a different landscape for sure with them, but we do use these super fan groups to our advantage, where we will maybe remix something that Nicki Minaj says, and then we will like put what's her the Barbs, we like Barty Gang, not Barty Gang, but Barbs.
Don't make them up.
Yeah,
Right,
and then
right.
for Cardi B, we'll do like Barty Gang or something like that. So we will use it, and sometimes they'll be like, yeah, we like this, and then they'll tag the artists, and
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah, that definitely utilizing fan bases, or at least supporting them through their artists, I feel like is always fun, and joining in on that conversation.
Absolutely.
One of the things that this podcast is about is giving flowers to people that might not normally get the flowers given to them. So if you guys could give flowers to anyone that helped you in your careers, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a great question. There's probably so many people.
Oh man, yeah.
I'll start. I'll definitely say my manager Rico Brooks. He's been my manager since 2012, and with him, he's somebody. It's hard to even trust people in the music industry. But with me, it's just we align on just the general basis of, okay, we're not trying to be out here, and we're not trying to be like no sharks or nothing. And that's like a big thing, because you'll meet people out here and they'll be like, you need to make sure that this deal only benefits you, and you need the other side, F them. And we don't really move like that. And I think that's a big thing with Energy and Karma, is we want to make sure that everybody's satisfied as much as possible, but of course looking out for ourselves. But definitely Rico Brooks. My publishers, I want to say, it's been a longer road for me as far as being in the system. So like people who are like A&Rs that I've early on in my careers, like Jeff Vaughn and Mike Karen, who I'm signed to at APG. Those guys they're notoriously known for being very critical. And early on, I didn't understand it. But as a 33-year-old man turning 34, I now understand that it's just it's a competitive world, and especially creatively, you're competing against the next kid who's 18 years old. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing is quality as much as possible. And so I'll say shout out to Jeff Vaughn and Mike Karen.
Amazing.
Where for me, I mean, I think the first person I gotta give a shout out to, give flowers, my mom, just because when I was rapping, she would make me go in front of restaurants and perform.
Yeah, she did.
Broad daylight, it didn't matter. We didn't want much. She would do it, and I didn't want to do it at the time. But what it taught me was to not care what nobody think. It don't matter what they think. Just do what you love to do. You could do it anywhere, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that really gave me this confidence that I still have to this day. I also want to give flowers to my man DP. Shout out to DP.
Yes.
DP really plugged us in with some big people, and you know, we got to work with some incredible artists. You know, we got to work with 2 Clock, who was the SVP of Def Jam. You know, we played some of our early beats for him, and nothing happened, but he taught us a valuable lesson, which was always be prepared. You know, if you got 10 beats, you get to that last one, and they like, what's next? You like, uh-oh. Yeah, nah, going there with 100. Going there with 100 beats. But also, he asked us one time, was it with one margarita?
What was the question?
He said, what do the streams look like?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are no streams. He's like, then what are we talking about? I was like, damn, all right, I'll call you back after we get the song out.
It was before One Margarita, and that's exactly why I think he was the inspiration for us to get it up on social, because he was like, you know, he's somebody in the building who understands how it works. If it ain't streaming, it don't mean nothing nowadays. Back in the day, you could get signed off of like your pure merit of the talent, your singing or rapping. Nowadays, these labels, if you want to be signed, everybody don't need to be signed. Everybody don't want to be signed. But if you want to be in a building with one of these labels, they want to make sure that you got some kind of motion. You need to be up on streaming services, and you need to be doing some numbers. That's point blank. Period. That's it.
Yeah, and that was he told us that. And from that day, he was like, you know what? Okay, boom, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And if you could do the numbers, if we got the numbers, what they gonna say?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Shout out to 2 Clock. Shout out to DP. Shout out to my mother. I see you, girl.
I see you, girl. That's amazing. So all that, you know, our conversation of all the success that you guys had, and I know we touched upon it like a little bit in the beginning, but again, I just want to make sure we got like a deep dive, especially because a lot of people listening are probably TikTok creators themselves that are scared, you know, with the TikTok ban. And then there's a whole another array of people who were dependent on certain brands like Universal, who pulled their entire catalog. And because of these new restrictions on the platform, first of all, what was your immediate response to hearing about these two very major things that happened in the landscape that you guys are operating in? And then 2, what advice would you have for people who are trying to navigate those changes?
Oh man, I think with the TikTok ban, I kind of took it with a grain of salt at first, because every couple years it's always talk about some ban. I think it happened like in 2020 during Corona, during COVID, they was talking about a ban. So this time around I didn't take it too much seriously. But when Universal took their catalog off, that's when I kind of was like, okay, yeah, you know, something's going on here. Yeah, I don't know the real motive behind it. They saying that it's about royalties and all of those things, which it is in a sense, but I think it's something bigger than that. It's tricky, but again, like you said, we use that to our advantage, because once there's more space for independent creatives, so that's what we use to our advantage.
Gotta get creative, make that
Got
content.
Yeah, you know, I was in the Army, so part of my mindset all the time is, if there isn't a way, figure out a way. You know, we have conversations, me and Carl, and it's like, yo, what is our mission? Okay, let's complete the mission. Let's just get the mission done. Let's get it done. And if you keep that mindset, it doesn't matter if TikTok goes down. It doesn't matter if UMG, they take off everything. Figure something else out, because it's not going to stop. People are not going to stop listening to music. People aren't going to stop creating. Keep creating. Just figure out a different place to put your content. Partner with different people. You know what I'm saying? It is unfortunate for those who have spent years building their profiles and their pages, and it will take 24 hours to sit on it and really embrace what you feel, but then get up out of there and get busy again.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember where we heard this, but at the end of the day, no one cares. Work harder. No one cares that you in your room and you sad or you depressed. They don't. It's sad. It's unfortunate. That's why you need to surround yourself around good people. If you the smartest person in the room, then you around the wrong group. You understand what I'm saying? But they don't care. So just keep doing it. Keep going. Keep creating. If you're a creator, if you call yourself a creator and you don't create every day, don't come to me. Don't talk to me. I hear people all the time, a songwriter. Oh, yeah. When last time you wrote a song? Do you write? Or you're a script writer? How many scripts do you have? Oh, you're a producer. Let me hear your pack. You know what I'm saying? If you do it, if you call yourself that, do it every day.
What do you think the next platform is? If you could think, like, what will be the next frontier for people who are making content like this? Would it be Reels? Would it be maybe something else? Or like, if you could design like the perfect platform that could support people in the music field, like what would that look like?
I think TikTok is definitely the place for it. I just don't know if Reels is I don't think is it because of just the landscape and the ownership. So I don't have nothing against it, but I think they're just dinosaurs compared to TikTok, the way they move. And the algorithm is just a totally different algorithm.
Yeah.
It's more natural over at TikTok. I don't know what it looks like, to tell you the truth. It's definitely short form. I see that TikTok is trying to move into a world where they're talking about horizontal film and
A minute plus videos.
minute plus videos. It's like, that's
YouTube.
I don't yeah, it's YouTube. So I don't really know what's going to be the best one to monetize or to support music release, but so far I haven't seen anything better than TikTok.
Me personally, I would love to see a platform, that was short form, that also paid the artist better. I think a big, huge issue with Universal pulling their catalog was because they weren't getting any money. Like, you would have things that had like millions and millions of streams, or videos that use sounds that had millions and millions of views, or songs that brands were starting to like incorporate sounds, like not so much songs, but like sounds and selling it. And they had to, of course, eventually put a stop to that. But like, I just feel like there should be some sort of platform where producers and artists kind of get a better share of the pie on the social landscape. But people.
We didn't touch much on the royalty aspect, but you're on something with that, because that's the bigger dispute right now. Or a lot of basically really songwriters, because as producers we kind of benefit a little bit better, but songwriters at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to everything that we're doing, and they don't get advances. Some of them do. They work out advances up front, but a lot of songwriters will write a hit song and they won't see no money for a year or two, and that's tricky. And as someone trying to navigate life, and if you have a family, it may deter you. You may quit. A lot of people have quit. I didn't quit music, but like Steve said, we have a background in film and television, so I went on to be a TV and film editor, and which I also love and I'm also passionate about. But
what you work on?
I worked on Modern Family. I was the finishing editor over there on that, and a few other movies. Hocus Pocus 2. The 100, I touched that a little bit. But but with music, it's just it's again, it's that beast. It's way more volatile.
But another thing for creators to really keep in mind is know your worth, right? Because sometimes the labels will come, they don't care about you. Don't take that personal. Don't get in your feelings about it. Understand that they're not there for you. They're there for that record. They're there for that whatever that is. They want that. They don't care about you sometimes, right? Now, you can get with these labels and develop relationships and build those relationships and build the trust and the camaraderie and do those things. But don't think right away that people just coming to you and they oh my God, we're gonna do this. No, but don't take it personal. And then I think lastly, don't let someone talk you out of you feeling your creativity and what you want.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes if this is what your decision is, I'm creating this, I want it to be like this, I'm not changing that. Don't budge. Follow your gut. Follow your gut. Follow that first feeling.
Yeah.
And when you do that, because we do that, you know what I'm saying? We try to say, you know what? All right, let's give it 24 hours. We give it the 24-hour rule. If 24 hours we can't make a decision on it, me and Carl, we're like, you know what? Let's stick to that. That's follow your heart, follow your gut. Don't get discouraged by the numbers, because the numbers at first, when they come, you're not gonna be a millionaire overnight. Don't even confuse that. But if you keep doing it and you keep going, one project leads to the next, next project leads to the next. We're going to win. We're going to be House Evo. We're going to get that EGOT. I promise you that.
Hey.
I promise you that.
Yes.
Just keep going.
And then for finally, because I didn't realize how long we're going. But finally, what projects are you guys working on now that you're excited about?
Oh man. I think we could touch on one, because it's already kind of doing some numbers on the socials. But Scarlett, Have You Seen My Boyfriend? We're definitely working to make that a full song. God
right.
willing. She signed to Epic through Sony, and
Yes.
hopefully
She's so talented.
man,
So talented.
so dope. And she has that raw energy. With this one, it's
Right.
like a playful song. It's a different side of her, I think. So I would love for people to hear that
That's
full
gonna be
record.
dope. That's gonna be. We can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Also, we got out right now Rice and Peas Rhythm.
Right.
yeah.
That's out.
I forgot to talk about. Wait, no,
right.
because I keep quoting it.
Oh my God, it's so catchy. It's so catchy.
I think that honestly, that was a song. Was like, nah, I gotta reach out to them right now because I kept literally going back on my TikTok just to play that. It's just like
Rice.
Yeah. Man, as somebody who's, my parents are Jamaican and Steve is Puerto Rican, so we got that Caribbean sensibility. It was a kind of full circle moment with that one. It's a fun one. It's real chill. It's one of the things where we don't expect too much right now. It's some projects we do is just to fulfill us sometimes, and you have to have those just to put it out. And exactly. But yes, Rice and Peas Rhythm.
2 exciting tracks that I'm very, very excited for. I want to thank you guys so much for your time, for sharing your wisdom, for making me laugh. Times where I need to laugh.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. And I personally want to give y'all your flowers for.
Well, one, you're doing amazing work, Alana, and we appreciate you, because to me, this is like my favorite interview so far, because it was free flowing and fun. But we definitely appreciate people like you who are, shouting out the little guys in these spaces, and we want to make sure we continue to do our best at whatever we do. And I look forward to watching and listening to your podcast as well.
That's right. Thank
you guys.
Definitely gonna add that and put that on my playlist when I'm in the car.
Yeah.
LA traffic and show love. So
maybe you'll sample something and make it.
Hey, we got you.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode of Acknowledged. If you haven't yet already, please consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Also consider following me at Alana Emizola on Instagram. I'm posting behind the scenes stuff that didn't make the final cut, maybe some information on when I plan on publishing this podcast in places other than YouTube. All that information will be revealed there, so make sure you're following me. And as always, please give flowers when flowers are due. All right, guys, see you next time.